They've been designated essential workers, operating on the front line as the number of deaths from the virus in Argentina climbs to 73,000. But strict hygiene measures have not been enough to protect them, with a growing number of cemetery workers infected and, as the second wave strikes, dying.
There are many things that can infect you in this place. On top of it all, we have COVID too, and that's unhealthy. We're fighting a war every day.
The World Health Organization says the true number of COVID-19 victims in Latin America is probably much higher than registered, something this funeral director confirmed, saying the virus is not always listed as the cause of death. He added that handling the bodies of COVID-19 victims was not the only risk they faced.
The main point of contagion when we collect a body is with the families. We don't know if those family members have COVID or not, in their homes or when we go to a hospital.
Funeral workers have also had to deal with the emotional trauma of consoling relatives and restricting how many family members can participate in funeral proceedings.
We're seeing people begging for a moment, just a moment to say a formal goodbye, a minimal farewell.
They say they're overwhelmed, that 20% of about 10,000 cemetery workers are affected, either have or have had the virus. Another 10% can't work since they're considered vulnerable. We don't normally talk about death until we have to. Cemetery workers, essential workers, are used to that. But now they're shouting to be heard because they're dying in the fight against the pandemic and say their industry can't take much more. Argentina has vaccinated less than 5% of its population in a process which has stuttered across Latin America. But cemetery workers say it's not enough to be designated essential workers if they're not given the greater protection vaccines can offer.
What we're asking for is absolutely just, and I hope they listen to us, that they see us, please.
The union negotiations with the government are on pause, while both sides consider their position.
We know that if we take industrial action, we'll only add to the pain. We don't want that because we understand pain. We see it every day.
As the second wave hits and with vaccines in short supply, governments across Latin America are imposing yet more unpopular lockdowns to try to alleviate the strain on an already overburdened infrastructure. Those on the front line keep working, but say they can't take much more. Daniel Schweimler, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.